obviously we're going to be around.
Right, today we are here for Henry Nowak, 18-year-old
Yeah, take care, mate.
He was arrested after being stabbed 5 times, and he was denied emergency medical attention and drowned in his own blood in handcuffs, while his killer stood there claiming to be the victim. It is about time the government and the police start showing white people of the UK some damn respect. Henry Nowak's treatment and neglect has really... Sorry.
Oh, you're all right.
The rain's all on the screen.
Oh, that's terrible, isn't it? Do you want a newspaper? Do you want that?
It's all right. Henry Nowak's treatment and neglect has really been the last straw for the people of this country. He has hardly even been acknowledged by his own government. Keir Starmer just wrote a pathetic tweet for Henry that he took a knee for George Floyd. Where's the knee for Henry? I said it was George Floyd who was a damn criminal. Henry was just a young lad on his way home after a night out. There is absolutely everything wrong with what happened to Henry and how he was treated. The police officers seem to have already made up their minds about Henry before they even got there. Since on the phone call made by Digwe's brother, who lied about his brother being racially attacked by a white person, and he said attacked his brother, when the truth was actually his brother had stabbed Henry 5 times. He was stabbed in the chest, legs, abdomen, and on his face. Now, when the officers arrived on scene, not sure exactly. Setting off the bloody screen. It's all the rain. Sorry. Now, when the officers arrived on scene, not sure exactly who said Henry had not sure exactly who said it, but they said he had a mouthful of blood, and I believe that was the first red flag, especially after he told the officers that he had been stabbed. Why did this not raise immediate concerns? Why was this ignored? Why did they not check him for stab wounds in that moment? Instead, they dragged him, sat him up, and the male officer put Henry straight in handcuffs. While Digwer, knowing full well he had just stabbed Henry 5 times and that he was seriously wounded, just stood there, no handcuffs, free to continue to play victim. The first thing Henry said to the officers was, "I've been stabbed." And he actually said this twice, then said, "I can't breathe." And this was completely ignored. And on the 3rd time he said it, the male officer acknowledged it by repeating it back to him. "You have been stabbed. Whereabouts?" Then immediately, didn't get a reaction, immediately said, "I don't think you have, mate." Completely dismissing it. Why on earth would you dismiss something like that? They then lay Henry on his side, pull his arms tight around his back and handcuff him. And this is when you hear Henry again say, "I can't breathe." But this time, this is horrible.
Oh no, yeah.
But this time you hear the blood filling up in his lungs. It was awful. And clearly he is in pain. And he says, and the officer then says it again, sorry. But this time you hear the blood filling up in his lungs and clearly he is in pain. And then he says it again and the officer says, "Put the hand in the cuff, mate," showing no empathy in the slightest, ignoring his desperate attempt to tell them yet again he cannot breathe. He repeats it over and over again. The male officer says to the woman officer, he's saying he's been stabbed. The woman officer says to Henry, "Where do you think you have been stabbed?" But at this point, Henry is barely conscious. And in the background, you hear Digwer say, "He hasn't been stabbed." The woman officer says, "In the face," and then she says, "But we have to check, don't we?" Obviously after Digwer saying what he said. "Yes, that's fine," Digwer said. She started being concerned far too late.
Walk round it.
The male officer keeps Henry on his side in handcuffs, still showing no empathy or any signs of concern for Henry. The male officer says he was sat up when we had him there, but he didn't like it. Well, no, because he was in pain and trying desperately to tell you he has been stabbed and couldn't breathe.
that what they said?
He then says to Henry, what's
Fuck
your
off.
name, mate? At the moment, you are under
Fuck
arrest.
off.
That's for assault.
Fuck off! Fuck off! Fuck off!
Have some
Fuck off! Fuck off!
Have some respect, someone died!
Have some fucking respect! Pussy hole!
He then says to Henry, what's your name, mate? And at the moment, you are under arrest. And that's for assault. And then he reads Henry his rights and then says he's going to be sick, I think. But Henry is now unconscious at this point. Then the woman officer finally makes a call to the ambulance service, but doesn't mention about him being stabbed. She just says he's been beaten up. And that his pupils aren't even reacting. And that is when the clip cuts. But why does the clip cut there? Why can't we see what happens next? Because it was already...
60 minutes,
Yeah,
it
it was disgusting. Because it was already
I've
truly
never seen a blind
disturbing
panic when
and
they was
sickening
running around
how
like
he
this,
was
just
treated
checking
this
to
far.
know, yeah.
But what
Once
happened
they
next?
realised-
That's what I would like to know.
see him like, you can see his eyes.
His eyes were well white, weren't they? You could have seen
Was
that.
he further mistreated? Well, what we know is that Henry lost his life, and I can't help but wonder what would have been the outcome if they had called the ambulance immediately and actually acknowledged that he had been stabbed a lot sooner. This is one of the worst things I have ever seen. The neglect, the difference in treatment between Henry and Digma, and the total lack of empathy throughout the whole time. What happened to Henry Nowak matters. And although, yes, Digma might be facing 21 years for murder, I personally don't think there is true justice until those two police officers that treated him so terribly and neglected him have also met justice. It is disgusting.
Say his name!
Henry Nowak! Henry Nowak!
Henry Nowak!
And our government, what have they done to acknowledge this? A tweet from Keir Starmer. That's all he got. What did George Floyd get? A knee. Why are these not getting on their knees? For Henry Nowak. Why?
Get on your knees!
I'm sick and tired of what is going on in this country. I'm sick and tired of the two-tiering policing. It's got to end. And if it doesn't take people like us getting up on the street and talking about this, nothing is ever going to change.
Well done, thank you, my boys.
So we-
Yeah, can I just say to the people that are watching, you've just got to ignore the comments from the trolls.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if
Ignore because he was white.
if you
Absolutely.
don't
That's
ignore
exactly
them,
right.
you're just giving them
I'm sick to
encouragement.
death because we can't talk about these things because we're
So
white.
please just simply ignore them. I'm one man on my own. I don't have moderators.
Oh, yeah.
You've simply got to ignore what the
You're right, yeah.
troll leftist scum have to say.
So what, you're from
You'll give
the
it
Polish community or what? Oh, no, I thought, yeah, oh, you're too. Yeah, I know, we all do though, don't we? Yeah. Oh, so you're from Camden, yeah? Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, we just got to come and support what we can, you know. I couldn't get to Southampton yesterday, so, you know, I've got a young son and he needed to go boxing and stuff, so we've got to spend time with him, haven't we? You know, but, yeah. Yeah,
Jodie was
in July, the mum did she for that? You lied to the police.
I know about some family knew about what was happening.
who they were.
Fucking not.
You know,
Yeah, there was one in America, and all
Like I say, I don't think justice has been met until those two police officers are truly treated.
Right, don't forget, if you can, share this video out. We are live. Henry Nowak, a small gathering of people showing respect for the guy himself, yeah.
The thing is, Henry Nowak can't give his statement because he's not here. He's had his voice taken as well as his life. So it's down to us to be his voice.
Who's that over
So that's why we're here today. He can't give his statement. He can't give his say. But we have all seen enough. We have seen the evidence. We have seen the footage, the terrible, disgusting negligent, can't say the word.
Negligence.
Neglect. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, the terrible, obviously, neglect that he experienced. So, again, we're here in the rain, just like we was for rain Broadhurst, but we're here. We're here in the rain, snow, whatever.